so that he doesn't go around with such a gloomy outlook on life.
Question number 11, Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by his statement on 3 News last night on the subject of Business New Zealand's assertion that women need retraining when returning to employment after extended paid parental leave, that no, it wouldn't be my view?
The Honourable Gerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, I was asked whether I thought women lose their skills after 3 months and need to be retrained. My answer was no, that would not be my view. I stand by that answer.
Sue Moroney.
To the Prime Minister. Well, does he agree with a statement on extending paid parental leave that Business New Zealand attributed to UK Member of the European Parliament, Godfrey Bloom, that, quote, it will single-handedly turn back the clock to the 1920s by forcing employers to avoid exposure to the penalties by not hiring young women?
The Honourable Gerry
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, I do not stand by anybody else's statements in this particular issue.
The Prime Minister, to the Prime Minister. Well, does he agree then with National MP Tim McIndoe when he told the Waikato Times on April the 11th this year, any rise in cost would have business owners looking to cut spending, and one way of doing that would be to employ men rather than women?
The Honourable Gerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, there are big costs that need to be met. It costs the government $163 million a year to meet this program. I am not responsible for Mr McIndoe's comments in these matters.
Order. I want to hear Sue Moroney's question.
Supplementary to the Prime Minister. Given that Paul Mackay was reported by Radio New Zealand as stating that Business New Zealand's paid parental leave submission was based on political discussions, did those discussions involve the National Party?
The Honourable Gerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, we do not speak for Business New Zealand, and Business New Zealand does not speak for us.
Sue Moroney.
Point of order.
Point of order has been called.
Point of order. Mr Speaker, my question was very carefully crafted about whether there were discussions between the National Party and Business New Zealand on the issue of their paid parental leave submission.
I think the member still has a further supplementary question. Given the Minister's answer, I can think it's a pretty obvious further supplementary that. Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston.
Mr Speaker, the question was, were there discussions, not whether someone spoke for someone and somebody else spoke for somebody else. The question was very narrow. Were there discussions? And that goes to the core of it.
I'm very, very interested in the order. The Right Honourable Member wanting questions to be answered. I'm very gratified by that, because it certainly didn't used to happen in this place. I invite the member to repeat a question.
No, I'm repeating my question.
Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
What on earth did that mean? That you're criticising every previous speaker?
Order.
That you're the paragon of virtue?
I meant what I said. I called the member to repeat her question.
Thank you.
Sue Moroney.
My question is to the Prime Minister. Given that Paul Mackay was reported by Radio New Zealand as stating that Business New Zealand's paid parental leave submission was based on political discussions, did those discussions involve the National Party?
The Honourable Gerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, I'm not able to answer that. But what I can say is that the Business New Zealand talks to many, many groups, including the EPMU, and I would hope the Labour Party.
Question number 12, Jamie Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, question to the Minister of Immigration. What is the government doing